Bodine 52, how are you, folks? It's pretty cool, isn't it? 1864. Wow. I am out today on Duke, my 2000 Road King Classic. And you ever fall in love with a motorcycle? I know sometimes we sell them, trade them in. Did you ever buy one and just go, I'll never sell it? Ever? I feel that way about Duke. But now I got an offer on Duke I think I got to listen to. So we all have things in our lives outside of even motorcycles that are critically important to us that we would never sell. Let's talk about a few of those things just real quick. And then we'll get on to motorcycles, which is what this is about. You're not going to sell a family member, right? You're not going to sell a kidney. Maybe, like in my case, I have a grandfather clock that is that I bought when my mother passed away. It was kind of a way to use some of the money to something that I would not just go ahead and blow and buy something and not remember. And that grandfather clock still sits in the foyer of my house. Nobody could ever buy that grandfather clock for me. And I'm sure we all have things in our lives that just aren't for sale. They're just not. Everybody says, you always have a number. Maybe not, right? Maybe. But certain things, no-goes. And I usually interrupt with a squirrel, but now where am I? That's a chicken! Focus, Bodine, focus. Man, I gotta tell you what, I love Michigan back roads, but a farmer I am not, so don't ask for any advice from me, but it is beautiful out here. So, how this all started is, and my last video I kind of was out on my first ride on Duke, and just love this motorcycle. And every time I get out on it, I don't ride it as much as I should. I ride my other motorcycle more. Every time I get out on it, I go, why do I not ride this more? I love this freaking motorcycle. And I will tell you that I've had 4 or 5 motorcycles in my life. I've only been back riding 7-8 years. I had a Suzuki, I think they were called C50s maybe. I had that for about 2 months. Then I went and bought a 2016 Street Glide Special that I loved, other than it was denim black, which I hated. But loved that motorcycle. Never sell it. Never gonna sell it. Yeah. Till 2018 when I bought an Ultra Limited, which I loved, and did a lot of stuff on that bike. And of course, I'm never gonna sell it. Never gonna sell it. Never gonna sell it. And I ride a 2021 Road Glide right now, and I will tell you that I love that motorcycle. And think, outside of some of the older motorcycles, I think the Road Glide is one of the best bikes out there, as well as the Road King, especially a classic one. So I won't go through the full story again, but I basically traded a quad for this motorcycle with somebody. About $4,000, $4,500, I figure was the deal. Had about 20,000 miles on it. It's got 24,000 miles on it. I've had it about, I guess, a year, maybe 2 years. So I guess it has a little more miles than that on it now. But I just love this motorcycle. The old classic look, the white walls, the rumble. This thing shakes when it's at a light. I tell you guys, if you follow my channel all the time, I love this place right here. And see that flag out there? I am just dying to pull my motorcycle up in front of that barn and take a picture. But I'll figure I'll get shot. So I've been waiting for those people to be out in their yard so I could just pull up and say, hey, how you doing? I love your flag. You mind if I take a picture there? But they're never there, by the way. So this motorcycle, I just love it. I honestly do. And I've been talking to a couple friends, and I mean this sincerely. I will, in my mind, never ever sell this motorcycle. I'll never get rid of this motorcycle. If I can't ride anymore, I'll find a friend, a place, my son, somebody somebody that I will give it to, that will take it. So, why did I start this video off about selling this motorcycle then? Well, let me tell you the story. So, I have somebody that follows me on my YouTube channel and Instagram. I'm just not going to name them. And I've had, by the way, people come up to me before and say, oh my God, I love your bike. We talk about it. And they're like, hey, would you ever sell it? If you wanted to, hey, would you, here's my phone number. And you just don't think about that, right? You're like, come on, they won't buy it. And nobody's going to buy your bike. Plus, I'm not going to sell it anyway, right? So I had a guy reach out to me that said, hey, I'm interested in your Road King. And I go, hey, I appreciate that. I said a lot of nice things. I'm like, that's cool, but no, I'm not selling it. And he goes, well, okay, hey, look, he collects old cars and some older motorcycles, right? And he's like, I'm serious, and I'll make it worth your while. I'm like, nah, I'm not, no. So this is, I don't know, 6 months, a year ago, something like that. So he came back to me again, and he basically said, how's the Road King? You still loving it? You still in love with it? Is it still a no touch? Not going to sell it? I'm like, not going to sell it. He goes, so you traded that for a quad, right? I go, yeah, we know what that was about worth, right? I'm like, yeah. It's like, what if I gave you double in cash? I'm like, no. I'm like, dude, why would you do that? You can go and find a 2000 Road King Classic, I would imagine. Even though I got to say, I did look for this bike for over a year. You can go find one cheaper than that. And his answer was, I understand that. Are you still interested? And, I'm like, nah, I don't think I'm interested. I wouldn't want to do that. And then I'm sitting around going, wow. And I could go buy something else. Maybe even an older bike, give me extra $3,000-$4,000 in it and build it up. Again, I'm still trying to figure out why Duke. And maybe it's because it's a 2000 Road King, but I think I can go on and find them, with this amount of miles for a couple grand less than he's offering me for it. And he's been respectfully persistent. And it really had me thinking about it until I got on it the other day. And then I'm like, who are you kidding? There is no way you are going to sell Duke your Road King. Well, it's not the same. It's kind of like the grandfather clock in the foyer. It's just off limits. And you know what? This bike is a third of the price or a fourth of the price of my Road King or my Road Glide Limited. But there's something about it that just makes it a no-touch. Do you have one of those bikes? Or do you have something kind of in your life that's a no-touch, something I'm not going to sell, that you wouldn't even think about it even if somebody was nice and flattered you about whatever it was and offered you 2 times what you paid for it? Would you do it? Now, we can all use the money. And maybe, I think when people are struggling, that sometimes they do different things that they wouldn't normally do. But in general, if you didn't have to have the money, are there some things that are a no-touch? And is your motorcycle a no-touch? Do you have a motorcycle that you will never, ever get rid of? I'll tell you what, I'm a Mustang guy. I haven't had one in years. I had a Mustang that I thought I'd never get rid of. And it took me totaling it to get rid of it. So I kind of get it. But man, I just can't do it. I feel like I'll end up in hell if I sell this bike. And that's where we're going to drive through right now. Hell, Michigan. But we will not go there. But just curious, because this kind of came up again real fast. Would you sell Duke for double what you paid for it? And would you sell your bike for double what you paid for it? I'm probably crazy, but Duke's staying in my garage. Thanks, folks, for checking in on us today. We're going to enjoy the rest of this early spring day here in Michigan. I appreciate you checking in. Be safe out there, folks. Be vigilant. Check on a friend, and we'll talk to you in the next one. Bye-bye.